head coach Steve Kerr in San Francisco.
Being able to put him on Doncic and have him almost outscore Doncic in this game.
I thought Wiggs was fantastic. Doncic is as difficult a cover as there is in this league, and we just asked Wiggs to try to hound him and, guard him as best as he could, stay in front, and try to keep the pressure on him. And he did a fantastic job. So Wiggs is just a huge part of our defense and our team. I thought he was great offensively as well. So great night for Andrew.
Steve, let me make sure I'm reading this right. When's the last time you saw Steph lead a playoff game with 12 rebounds?
Ask Raymond. Raymond knows all that stuff. But Steph has always been a really good rebounder. For a guard, for a guy his size, he's just got a knack for the ball, and he obviously did a great job. There were several where you could see him kind of come over from the weak side because he read where the ball was going to go before anybody else did. And so he's got a good knack for it, and I thought the rebounding was a big factor tonight. 52-34. So we did a good job on the glass.
Steve, how did you like the poise and taking care of the ball and just so many guys getting involved in the scoring and rebounding effort?
Yeah, it was good. I thought we were in a little bit of a rush early, and once we settled down, the ball started to move a little bit better, and we started getting better shots. That's to be expected, though. Game one of the conference finals, everybody's amped up, and so we just needed to settle in, and we did that.
You guys threw out a lot of different looks defensively. How important do you think that was in limiting Luka?
Well, I think you can't do the same thing with Doncic every possession. You got to be able to mix it up. He's too good. And so we tried to do some of that. And, one game, we did an excellent job defensively, but we're under no illusion that we've figured anything out. We just played really hard and competed and tried to contest shots. But, there's a good chance those shots start going in next game. So we've just got to stay committed and stay aggressive, play with force, and see what happens.
You had Wiggins pick up Luka full court several times. Is that just kind of to slowly try to fatigue him?
Yeah, I think it's important to try to make him work. He's so good. Any great player in the league, you're just trying to limit the damage that they do. And so I think Wiggs picking him up, trying to make him exert some energy was definitely helpful. But, other teams have done that plenty, and he's been able to play through that. So, as I said, it's one game. We did a good job, but we got to turn our focus to Friday.
I noticed throughout the run your shooting has gotten so much attention and how you've won championships, but it always struck was the defense was always pretty consistent. Was this as strong a defensive performance from start to finish game plan as you had this season at least?
It was an excellent defensive night overall. We had the second-ranked defense in the league this year, so we take pride in our defense. I think everybody sort of leans on Draymond. Draymond sets the tone for us, and so we had a good defensive night, but we can't let our guard down.
Steve, there was that play there, I think it was the third quarter, where Steph got trapped in the corner and throws that kind of looping overhead pass back to Draymond. Draymond hits him back for the three. Given all the troubles you guys sometimes have with turnovers and looping passes, just take me through how you're seeing a play like that develop. What is it, obviously there's the chemistry between Steph and Draymond on that too, but the whole package of it, maybe the anxiety, but also the fun that kind of went with that.
Yeah, we work on that play. It's called looping pass 2. Those guys have a synergy from playing together for a decade. So Clay as well. So there's a lot of value in that. And Draymond has always been sort of the fulcrum of our offense as a passer, screener. He sees the floor so well. He sees those guys working off the ball. He sees the backdoor cuts. So that was an example of those guys just knowing each other well, and Draymond knowing exactly what Steph was going to do. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Looney set a pin down for him after that pass came back out to Draymond. So you could put Looney in there too. There's a lot of continuity with our team that's important, and guys read each other well.
Steve, you talk about Andrew's defense on Luka, but nobody else in the Mavericks really got going. What was sort of the key to the rest of your defense in when he gave it up, not anybody else getting wide open looks like they have in the past?
They spread you out dramatically. I mean, they took 48 threes, and it's hard to cover all that ground. So it requires a ton of effort. And for the most part, that effort was there. And we really contested shots well and tried to challenge everything we could. So it was a matter of just playing with a lot of force and really bringing the effort.
You mentioned defending their three-point shooting. Draymond held them 0 of 9 from 3. What do you think of his defensive performance in particular?
Draymond?
Yeah, Draymond.
Yeah. As I said, Draymond he's the key to our defense. He's our kind of our middle linebacker, and against a team like this that spreads you out, you have to make good rotations and good reads, and so he is one of the best in the world doing that, and kind of getting everybody organized and talking.
One more quick one for you. During the regular season, we talked a lot about how an assertive and aggressive Andrew Wiggins is the best version of him for this team. Is there a different spark in his eye, maybe before the game, or that's kind of telling of, he's just going to absolutely go for it tonight?
I just think that Andrew's in a really good groove. He's had an excellent playoffs. He's played well, in every series so far. He's comfortable. He's confident. He believes in himself. He believes in the team and what we're doing. And so this is who he is. He's been just really, really consistent at both ends.
Clay at 0 at halftime. I don't know if you noticed that. Did you sense anything was coming? Was there any issues with him offensively in the first half? Did any of that really matter to you, or did you just know it was going to come in the second half?
I just thought both Clay and Steph were in a rush early in the game, and we just needed to slow down and move the ball a little bit better. And once we did that, the game started to open up for both guys. And it's how the playoffs are. Everybody's so amped up, and you gotta settle in. And it just took those guys in particular a little bit of time to settle in.
Steve, you've talked many times in the past about Curry's ability to forget things or to have no conscience or whatever. If he has a bad shot, a bad streak, a bad quarter, to just completely forget it and move on. Was this kind of an example of that tonight, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, the best players all have that knack for turning a bad game into a good one. It's a really difficult thing to do. But when you have that kind of confidence and that kind of experience, when you've been through everything, you've been through a lot of games where you have a slow start and you're able to find it, then you feel comfortable in that setting. I thought that was the case with Steph.
Steve, you've said the last couple of days just how much this means to the guys after the last 2 tough years. You missed a few games. Did it feel pretty good to be back on the bench and just in this atmosphere? It was loud and much like Game 6 here the other night. That just a pretty great atmosphere. Yeah,
it was great to be back. I missed being out there with the guys, and amazing atmosphere here at Chase, and we're excited to keep going.
Steve, you shot like 70+% from 2.
I'm sorry?
You shot like 70% inside the arc, and you're getting kind of what you wanted. Is that like your ideal game when the execution is that high and you can get kind of the looks you want inside the paint?
My ideal game is to shoot 70% from 3, actually, but I thought we took what the defense gave us. They did a good job taking away a lot of our threes, and a lot of our guys made those mid-rangers that I think you have to make in the playoffs. I just feel like, teams are going to take away layups. They're going to take away threes. If you can step in and knock down some 15-footers, I think you have to be able to do that. We've been lucky to have great shooters over the years who have been able to knock down that shot. Whether Steph, Clay, Kevin. Now Otto is really good mid-range shooter. If it's there, that's the shot you got to take.
Jordan obviously, did a ton for you offensively, but, this series will probably be about how well he can survive defensively. What did you think of, I guess his overall night, but particularly on the defensive end?
Yeah, I thought Jordan had a really good night. They were definitely attacking him. He got 5 fouls. I thought he had a couple of tough calls, but he can do better showing his hands. Sometimes you get your hands out like this and a player, bowls into you. You're the one who gets the call because it just looks like you're reaching. If you can show your hands, then you're more likely to not get called for a foul, and I think that's something he could probably do better next game. Thanks.